Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the stream today as we look at Bitcoin coiling up in another symmetrical triangle. This time it's a little bit smaller, and this time we have to break out by today. So it should be definitely an interesting day. We're going to go through what I think is going to happen. Now, to state, I do not have a crystal ball here, so this is just my prediction of which way we're going to end up going here. But if we take a look at the hourly chart, I'm going to wait for some more people to get up in here. But I see Neil in here. I see Zach. I see Slothbag, Mark, Zach, Hanibu, Youngston, Ecoms. Always 1 minute late. You guys always know I am 1 minute late here. But let's jump on into the hourly chart for BTC. We are coiling up here in a symmetrical triangle, right? On the hourly, if we zoom out, you guys can see where the general location of it is, right? Now, we are pulling back a little bit right now, but I do expect us to get probably one more support here on the bottom. You can see also the volume here is supporting that we are continuing down. We're getting lower lows on the volume. We're actually getting some higher sell volume coming in right now, but you can see the volume is decreasing here. So which shows that we are in some type of consolidation pattern. Now, if we break this to the downside, I'll give you guys the targets here for the upside and the downside, because we know when we do the technical analysis, we're looking at the bull scenarios. Which way is it going to go? Well, a lot of times we don't really know which way it's going to go, right? We can do our best guess. When it's coming from the downside, you do have to give it a bullish bias, but there's a couple reasons why I do think we still need to pull back a little bit, and why this actually makes a lot of sense for us to actually pull back a little bit, right? So our downside target puts us right at about 37,950, which makes a lot of sense, right? If we look left here, that's actually our highs, right? Where we settled up here on the hourly from June 10th, right? So that would be a nice back test of that previous resistance, flipping it as support, and then hopefully continuing back up there. That's what I kind of expect to happen here over basically the course of today. If we were to break this to the upside, in the upside scenario, this would probably put us somewhere around about 42,300, right? Right where my big resistance, right? My swing point of really this run, 42,500. We get back above 42,500, we are freaking golden. We get rejected from 42,500. We're probably going to be going back down a little bit lower here. So that is what I'm looking at here in the immediate short term. The hourly RSI has cooled off really nicely here, right? So now we actually, if we do break to the upside here, we do have some room to run to the upside. So we have created some room. I know yesterday we were talking about how we were overbought. Now we have some room. So we're good to go on the hourly RSI. Now, switching on over to the 4-hour time frame chart, I do want to show you guys this chart. Okay, so we know we've been talking about the wick-off accumulation forever, right? But this more and more, the more and more you look at this, the more and more it actually looks like this is actually what's going on. Now, as we know, there could be whale manipulation at any point. There could be a tweet that kills this at any point. FUD, Elon, freaking a mouse down the street says he doesn't like Bitcoin and drops it 5,000 points down, right? We don't know. But if you actually look here at the wick-off accumulation chart, this is playing out legit perfectly. Okay, now I was trying to find a way before the stream to actually overlay it here. I was going to overlay it, didn't have enough time, but the wick-off accumulation is legit perfectly, right? 1, 2, 3 lows, 1, 2 highs before coming back up and retesting those previous highs. This is what's playing out, right? 1, 2, 3 lows, 1, 2 highs. We're coming back up, right? And this is what I expect to happen at this point. I expect us to come back down, retest this high, right? And then continue on up here. This is exactly what I expect to happen here. What's up? George said today in his video that he sent you a hi message in your stream, but you didn't answer. Maybe I didn't see it. That's pretty cool, though, that George came in here. I did watch his stream last night. I'll reach out to him, see if I can get something set up. But as you know, with a lot of those bigger guys, sometimes it's tougher to get something set up. But I will try my best. But anyways, that's really looking at the 4-hour chart. We need to if we can get back over this range, right? The big range for me is 41,000 to about 42,500. That's the big range. That's the range between these two green lines up top here. We get back above this area and we retest this and we hold this as support, guys, I do expect us to continue this run faster than a lot of us think, right? But we have to do that first. I don't necessarily believe that's going to necessarily happen right now, but as we know with Bitcoin, anything is possible for BTC. But guys, I mean, you can't argue at this point that this does not look pretty damn similar to the current price action of BTC. It's pretty crazy, right? As I stutter a little bit. Anyways, it's still the morning. I got to drink some coffee. Jeez. Wow. All right, the 4-hour RSI, we were overbought. We have came back down a little bit. We do still have some room to run up to the upside here on the 4-hour RSI. But right now, I mean, we probably do need to cool off a little bit this as well. And this is why I do expect us to actually break down from this symmetrical triangle here. I want us to break up, don't get me wrong, but I do think we break down. I think if we cool down the hourly, we cool down the 4-hour, that's going to give us so much room to run up on this next big impulse to the upside. But it should be pretty cool. It should be pretty cool. Anyways, not only does this look exactly the same as this, okay? We know we've been talking about this a bunch of times. And I'm going to put it up here again because it is legit perfect. It's legit perfect. We know we talked about this when we had our March crash. We had the same price action that we're currently having now before recovering. And obviously, we know what happened. The rest was history after that crash bash year, right? Everyone was panicking. Everyone was running for the hills. Everyone was literally saying,
everybody panic, we're going to zero. Everybody panic, we're going to zero.
Right? And it was the same type of stuff that we heard during these last couple weeks, right? Bitcoin's going to 15K. Bitcoin's going to 10K. Bitcoin's going to 5K. Even, hey, I've even heard Bitcoin's going to 0 at this point. That's the same thing we were hearing right here, right? Crypto won't last a giant sell-off event. Bitcoin is dead. Crypto is going nowhere because of the whole thing that's going on in the world, right? We heard the same FUD back then, albeit a little bit different FUD, a little bit more macro FUD in the general economic scheme, but still the same kind of FUD. We've performed the exact same pattern that we did down here. And we know that I overlaid it up here. So we're going to look at this again because I want to keep pointing this out for everyone that hasn't seen this. Let me just get to our current price action here. There we go. All right. And let's overlay this right over our current price action. Okay. We've been looking at this multiple streams. I know, guys, you guys are going to say, Jordan, we've been looking at this constantly. I know. But it's very worth looking at. Okay. So if you overlay this, you can see how perfectly it's played out up to this point. Now, we have started to deviate a little bit from this, okay? Let me get over to my weatherman, all right? Now, we have deviated a little bit from this. You look here, we have gone a little bit above that fractal. So this is why another reason I do think that we break down from our current triangle and we actually come back down to retest either that previous high from right here, or we come back down and retest our previous resistance, right? We come back down and retest that before continuing on up to the upside like we did in the last consolidation, right? So that's what I'm kind of looking at here. And guys, like it's playing out exactly perfectly. Not only the wick off accumulation, but also the fractal from 2020, okay? We've been talking about this multiple times in the past. It's pretty freaking awesome. George wants to do a stream with me. I'll reach out to him. Like I said, it's tough to get a lot of these bigger YouTubers to actually do something. I tried with Ben a couple months ago. That kind of fell through. So I'll reach out to him, see if I can get in contact with him. All right, guys. But I'd love to do a stream with George. George is awesome. Anyways, jumping on over to our next chart. I don't really want to touch on anything. I'm going to save a lot of this stuff for tonight's stream. I wanted to look at the weekly chart today. I wanted to look at some of our luck. We just looked at the shorter term stuff. We know we're waiting for the breakout of this symmetrical triangle. Okay, and it's going to break out by tonight's stream. We'll go over all that in tonight's stream. But I did want to touch on a couple long-term things here. So the weekly chart is starting to look very, very good. Now, there's a couple things that could potentially look very, very bad here on the weekly chart, and I did want to touch on those real quick. You look here, I mean, we still have the possibility of that giant head and shoulders pattern. If we come up here and get rejected from our 21-week EMA, as we know, is our bull market support, right? We want to hold the 21-week EMA as in the bull market. We broke down below it. Now, if we come back up to it, get rejected, and then continue back down, we could have a big head and shoulders pattern that's forming here on the weekly. That's no good. That's a no-no, right? That you definitely don't want that. That could be very bearish here. But if we can somehow get back above that 21-week EMA, we're going to be good. And there's a couple reasons why I do think we have bottomed out, okay? I believe we have bottomed out. I do not think we go below 30K, right? Maybe we wick down to like 28K, but I do not believe we go lower than 30K, 100%, in my opinion, right? Everyone can have their own opinion. I still see people in the chat saying 15K, 10K, whatever. I don't think we go that low. That's kind of ridiculous at this point to me. If we look at our stock RSI on the weekly time frame, okay, you can see we clearly have bottomed out here, right? We pretty clearly have bottomed out, and you can see the stock RSI is starting to actually point to the upside here, right? Usually when we bottom out on this stock RSI on the weekly, it always tends to be our bottoms. Same thing with our RSI, right? So we are the lowest we've been on the weekly RSI since the March 2020 dip, right? Considering how high of more of a price action we've been in right now, that's pretty insane. That's pretty insane. Really, the last two times we've been this low on the RSI is December of 2018, obviously the bear market low, March 2020, obviously crazy stuff going on in the world, and right now. The amount of FUD that's spreading around right now, it does not even constitute where our price action currently is, guys. Like the amount of fear that we had back here, right, in 2018 was absolutely insane. The amount of fear that we had right here in 2020, absolutely insane. What we're going through right now is not even close to what we went through in the past. So, guys, everything to me is pointing up. Everything to me is pointing up, whether it's the fundamentals. The fundamentals, that the news that have came out in the last week have been absolutely insane. I'm actually going to make the next morning stream I'm going to do, going over all the FUD that we've had in the past, correlated to where the price action is. I'm going to make a big chart going over all this. I'm actually excited to make that. I really like doing stuff like that. So I'm going to basically make a chart pointing to each FUD, each good news, and pointing to where it actually came out. I think it's still funny. If you look at this from the macro sense, I think it's still funny that all the FUD that we got came up here, right? And now all of a sudden, all the news, all the tweets, everything wants to be bullish down here. Is it timed? I think it is. I think it is. You cannot tell me that a lot of these things that have came out in the last week have not been timed. Whether it be Elon all of a sudden flipping bullish, whether it be El Salvador adopting Bitcoin, whether it be really hearing nothing from the G7 event about anything negative about Bitcoin. It's crazy. It's literally crazy. And I'm going to go over that in a future video here. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the kind words, guys. You guys are always awesome in the chat. And you ladies, I always say guys, but it's just kind of the way I speak. So I hope you ladies don't get offended. I just always say guys and man and kind of the way I speak. So apologize, but I try to say gals. I know there's a lot of gals that are into crypto, and you gals are awesome. I hope one day, I can meet a nice gal that's into crypto as much as me. Okay, one day. Anyways, that's kind of what we're looking at on the weekly chart for Bitcoin. I also did want to bring up the MACD as well. Let me just get rid of the RSI here. Let's bring up the MACD on the weekly, see what we got going on here. So the MACD also, you can see obviously throughout our run, we were in the green and we have now flipped red. And now look, right, we are starting to build that positive momentum again. Yes, we're still red, but we're starting to build that positive momentum. MACDs, it looks like it's about to want to flip back this way. So, I mean, guys, the indicators are all flipping on the longer term timeframes. Zoom out, right? Don't zoom in, right? Don't do this. Even what we look at in stream, like this price action right here on the hourly is completely useless, right? Zoom out on the weekly, all right? And it tells you everything you need to know on whatever indicators you're looking at. It's pointing to a bottom, in my opinion. Besides this whole death cross thing, which I think is kind of useless anyway. We've been through that a billion times. It's completely useless. Look at the last times we had death crosses, completely useless. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I wanted to touch on today. Just some quick little info. It's going to be probably a quicker stream today. But Bitcoin's looking good in the macro. I didn't want to spend too much time on the short-term stuff just because. Get some tips from George. I'll try to get some tips from George. I'll try. No, I know what George does. George loves the hopium, man. The hopium. And I like giving hopium too. It's just I like being a little realistic too, right? So I completely agree with everything he says based on fundamentals. He's more of a fundamentals guy. I'm more of a charts guy. I just like looking at the charts personally, and I'm not going to change the way what I do just because people might like one thing or the other, right? I've always been a guy who likes charts, who likes math, who likes data, who likes science. So I'm going to stick to that, man. All right, let's go over. Actually, did anything else I wanted to touch on the weekly? I did want to touch on the total market cap real quick. I'm going to save a lot of my stuff for tonight's stream just because a lot of the times I talk about a lot of things that I would go over in the night stream and the morning stream. And then I kind of repeat myself in the night. So I don't really want to do that there. But total market cap. This is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I first want to start out on the weekly chart here on the total market cap. We are back above, right? We know we talk about how Bitcoin has to get back above that 21-week EMA, right? But the total market cap is now back above that 21-week EMA, okay? And if you look here, we have actually got back above it, held it as support for 1 week, and now we're holding it support again. We actually just wicked down to it yesterday on there. So we're back above the 21-week EMA on the total market cap. That's extremely bullish. You can see we know we talk about Bitcoin so much with this 21-week EMA, but you can see the total market cap, it was a perfect support every single time too. We actually never broke it in the 2017 bull market. Unfortunately, we don't have the full data for the total market cap going back through here. I'm sure it would be the same because I think Bitcoin was one of the only projects around. I think there was a few around before then, but yeah, I mean, we continue to hold this. We're back above this. That's super bullish here going forward. The daily 20 EMA, right? Also extremely bullish. You can see throughout this bull market for the total market cap, we tend to actually go below that 20-day EMA a couple times. And when we get back above it, that tends to be some of our biggest moves. You can see right here, we went below it. When we get back above it, we blasted up, right? Right here, we went below it temporarily, got back above it, blasted up. Right here, below it, blasted. Below it, blasted. Below it, blasted. Well, we've been below it for a while now. Hopefully this means that this ends up being a major blast, a major green dildo to the upside. We'll see if that continues to play out over the course of time. But very, very interesting how that 20-day tends to kind of catapult us to the upside every time we go back below it. But very interesting. All right, let's jump into some of these super chats here, and I will go on with my day. All right. Thanks for everyone who subscribed. Just had a bunch of people subscribe. That's freaking awesome. So thank you guys. Just Wes said, "What's up, bro? Just a hello. Enjoy your day." What's up, Wes? Day's going pretty good so far, right? Usually before the stream, I don't do really too much before then, but thank you, Wes. Staub said, "George said today in his video that he sent you a hi message in your stream, but you didn't answer." I didn't see it. I saw some of you guys the other day talking, say like George was here, and I tried looking through the chat and I couldn't find it. I don't know if he has a check mark. I don't know if George has a check mark, so that may be why I didn't see it. But I'll definitely reach out to him, see if we can get something set up. Like I said, George is awesome. Ecoms with the hearts. Thank you, Ecoms. Appreciate it. I always see you on Twitter, so I appreciate the hearts there. Oh, hold up. Gotta go back up. Mamba with the $5 super chat said, "When would you re-enter alts? I moved all mine to stablecoins, hoping to buy back lower a week ago." About a week ago, he says. When would you look to re-enter alts? Watch the Bitcoin dominance closely, right, man? So, where's my Bitcoin dominance chart? Here it is. Watch the Bitcoin dominance closely, right? I've been talking about this wedge. We have now came up to about 45% in the dominance. I think you should get some resistance here at about 47%, right? That's your previous high. I would personally, I do think it's a better idea to be in BTC at this point until Bitcoin can back up to about 50% on the dominance there. That's the level that I'm looking at for a kind of reversal back and for altcoins to start really pushing again. I could be wrong about that. I mean, with all the bullish news coming out on Bitcoin, we could just see a major rally here for Bitcoin going forward, I won't be surprised to see a major rally on Bitcoin. It's kind of what we saw in the middle of 2017, right? We don't have too much data here in the Bitcoin dominance, but in 2017, right, we saw one big altcoin rally, right? We saw a big Bitcoin rally, and then we saw another altcoin rally until we went to the bear market, right? So we could be seeing something like that, where this is like the first big initial altcoin rally. We see a Bitcoin rally, maybe back up to 50%, maybe 57%, and then we see one more big altcoin rally. So watch that 50% in the dominance. That could be an idea of when you get back into alts. But obviously, it's pure speculation. I mean, we know altcoins kind of have a mind of their own sometimes. Alts could start flying at any point. Just my speculation on that, Mamba. Thought about the Death Cross. Death Cross is completely useless, Shen. We looked at it in the past, dude. I can look at it again here for you right now. So basically, we should see the Death Cross probably within the next week or so, depending on where the price action gets to in the next week. But if we look back at the times we had a Death Cross, I mean, it's completely useless. I mean, you look here, we had a Death Cross right here in March. Oh, what ended up happening after that? Well, we got on a freaking bull run, right? A couple times after that, we had one right here. Oh, what happened right when we got that Death Cross? Well, we ended up having a 50% move to the upside. Obviously, we ended up moving down a little bit lower after that, but that's because of the March crash, right? That's because of the March crash. If we didn't have the thing going on in the world that we don't speak of, right, we wouldn't have had that. We probably just would have ended up going sideways here, most likely. So we also had that. So that kind of rules out two of those Death Crosses. We go back a little bit further in time. This is the only one that you could say was partially valid here when we had the Death Cross right here. But even that, like even after that Death Cross, you ended up dumping back down, and then you actually went on about a 50% move to the upside shortly after again. Now, this one did lead to the bear market, right? But like I said, this is such a lagging indicator that obviously if you're in a bear market, you're going to have a Death Cross. So I guess you could say that one's valid. I still don't think that's very valid. And then we can go back in the past a little bit further. We'll look at one more here. You had a Death Cross right here. You got a Death Cross. And what ended up happening after the Death Cross? Well, you ended up went on a bull market, right? So the Death Cross is completely useless. Don't pay too much attention to it. I think some people just trying to come up with things to talk about, and I completely understand, like especially during boring times like this. I mean, you got to come up with as many things to talk about. So ignore it. It's completely useless. Bitcoin shorts. I didn't want to touch on the Bitcoin shorts. Bitcoin shorts continue to pile up here. I think all these guys are going to get liquidated. I really do. I think we're going to see a short squeeze at some point. Might not happen today, may not happen tomorrow, but within the next few weeks, we're going to see a big short squeeze. And that is that. So, when would I buy Bitcoin? When would I buy Bitcoin? I would buy Bitcoin anytime, man. It depends on your long. So a lot of these, like, when would I buy Bitcoin, depends on your investment strategy. Are you looking to hold for a couple months? Are you looking to hold for a couple of years? Are you looking to hold super long term? That's going to depend on, is it a good time to buy? Now, if you're looking to hold long term, I still think it's an incredible time to buy Bitcoin right now. If you're looking to hold the next, week, maybe not the best time. A little more risky because we're right at a big resistance, right? So it all depends on your time frame. If you're holding long term, I don't think any time's really a bad time to buy Bitcoin. But I know a lot of people here aren't looking to hold long term. A lot of people are looking to hold probably maybe a year, maybe a little less. And I completely understand that. I've been there before. Ecom said, got it. What about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Jordan? I like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I think he's a little, I think people overrate him a little bit. I think he's probably in the top 6 players of all time. It really depends on your player strategy. Thanks for the shout out, Neil, for the likes, dude. Appreciate it, man. We need to get rid of the Robinhood Warriors. Yeah, the Robinhood Warriors are real, dude. I mean, but they're going to pump up a lot of our coins. You got to remember, Bitcoin, Ethereum, a lot of these coins are on Robinhood, so it does add some newer investors into crypto. But you got to remember, a lot of those investors are gonna invest in. We saw it with Dogecoin. I think that was a big reason why originally Dogecoin really started pumping, is because of seeing it on Robinhood. And the same thing with ETH Classic. When we saw that big ETH Classic run a couple weeks ago, or a couple months ago now, actually, time flies. A couple months ago, a lot of it has to do with Robinhood too. So, what program app are you using to add those lines, triangles to your chart graphs? This is TradingView, man. This is TradingView. I mean, there's a couple programs that I do use. I use TradingView on stream because obviously the prices update automatically. I use CoinTrader Pro off stream. I like a little bit of the layout and the setup and some of the features on there a little bit better off stream, but the prices don't update automatically on there. So it depends on what your goal is trying to do, you know? Cash Garden. Don't high leverage this price action. I agree. This is to me, if like you're a trader, to me this is a no trade zone to me. Like if I was to trade, this is a no trade zone. I'm more of an investor than a trader, man. I'm more of an investor than a trader. Why is Matic outperforming other respectable alts such as ADA? Matic's just a hot coin right now. It just has a lot of momentum, dude. Matic has been really performing well for a pretty long time today. Not today, but over the course of the last couple weeks, right? It also broke a big resistance, and that's why it's performing well, right? So, yeah, you're getting a little overbought right now on Matic too. So, if you're going to FOMO in, just be careful. Now, you guys did see me tweet, should I diversify into Matic today? Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to necessarily do it today. It just means that I'll probably on the next nice pullback we get, I probably will diversify into Matic. On Matic here, I probably do expect maybe a little bit of a comeback down here to retest. I might accumulate some Matic on this retest if it does come. I don't know if it's going to come, but I'm a pretty patient guy. So if it does come, I'll probably diversify a little bit. If it doesn't, I'm not going to FOMO into coins though. What's up, BC in the Matrix, man? Hope you're doing well. Good morning, guys. Good morning. We got, shout out to Duncan. How could I not shout out Duncan today? The sweet, sweet nectar of Dunkin' Donuts. Is it... What are your thoughts about VeChain? VeChain's my number 5 holding, man. VeChain's my number 5 holding. I haven't actually been buying VeChain lately. My big buys on this big dip that we've gotten over the course of the last month have really been Cardano and Chainlink. I've been scooping up a lot of Cardano and Chainlink. I haven't really been buying a lot of VeChain lately, and it's not because I don't believe in it. I just really like Cardano and Cardano and Chainlink going forward. So, especially Cardano. I've been scooping up a lot of Cardano lately. George is a motivational speaker. He is. George is very motivational. A lot of hopium coming from there. A lot of hopium. I try to sprinkle in some hopium, right? Sprinkle in some reality, sprinkle in some hopium. Try my best to do both. I know everyone needs some hopium sometimes. Especially me. I watch George for some hopium. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie there. What's the monthly chart looking like? Monthly not looking too bad. I like the monthly chart here. Monthly chart looking really good. Nice wick on the bottom side there. Should push you back up to the upside. Showing a lot of buy pressure down there. So that is good to see too. Good to see. Last try, reach out to George. He said, yeah, it would be a good duo. Yeah, Shay, I'm going to reach out to George. I said a couple times in the stream today, I'm going to reach out to George, see what's going on there. We're pretty cool. Would be pretty damn cool, if you ask me. ICP makes horrible music. ICP makes horrible music. It's also not the best project, in my opinion, as it continues to slide here. Down to number 18. I expect this to drop out of the top 20 at least. I mean, there's way better projects below it. VeChain, even Tron, right? Filecoin, Aave, AMP, right? I think Algorand. There's a lot of these coins here that I like a lot better than ICP. I think it's going to continue down, and I've been saying that since ICP was at $300, right? So. Actually, know what we can do? Actually, no, I'll save that for a future stream. I'll look at some undervalued altcoins, but I'll save that for a future stream here. I do want to make these videos. The problem is lately on the morning streams, my first original thought with these morning streams was to touch on more individual things. Like look at, maybe one day look at, Cardano charts. One day look at Link charts. One day look at VeChain charts. The problem is lately is a lot of the price action really depends on Bitcoin. So that kind of threw a wrench in kind of my plans here. But I do eventually plan to bring that back as soon as we get some clarity, whether, we continue in this bull market, maybe we have a little bear market. Until we get some clarity, I'll probably keep doing what I'm doing now. But I did want to have more topic-based things on these morning streams. So I have a couple ones coming. I mean, like I said, we're going to be looking at comparing the FUD and comparing the good news and where it actually correlates to the price action to see if we can find any deceptive things going on here. I'll look at some undervalued altcoins in a future one too. It looks like Bitcoin's actually about to break down from this triangle as we speak right now, as I had probably expected, but we could hold this as support. We'll see if this ends up holding. Like I said, I do expect this to break down here. I think that would actually be healthy for the market here if we actually did come back down and retest about 38,000. I think that would be really good for the market here. Looks like a lot of short interest on Doge recently, even though SAT value dropping. Yeah, seriously. My thoughts on helium? It's all right, man. It's all right. I like Aave. I'm a big Aave fan. I've talked about Aave a lot in the past. Really, really like Aave. Lending. The lending DeFi space. I mean, I personally think DeFi is going to be huge. So anything in the DeFi space, I think is going to be very, very big. So I'm a big believer in DeFi. I don't talk about it that much. But, yeah. Stock market is not doing well. Is it not doing well? How about Doge? Is it ever going to pump again? Doge is very height based. So like I said, as soon as we get some clarity in the market, once you see Bitcoin like break 40, I'm telling you guys, this is going to correlate exactly with the Bitcoin dominance. As soon as we see Bitcoin break 42,500, which I don't know if that's going to be tomorrow, today, 3 days from now, a month from now, but as soon as we break 42,500 again, we're going to see the altcoins fly, because that's going to bring some clarity into the market. Because like I've told you guys yesterday, as soon as we break 42,500, it's pretty much clear skies all the way until 48,000. And you can think if Bitcoin pumps from 42,000 to 48,000 really quickly, you guys can probably think of what the altcoins are going to do. They're going to do some crazy things, some very, very crazy things. So we'll see. But I think Doge will have its day again. It still has that meme coin hype. It's not going to go away. As much as I talk crap about meme coins, I don't think that's necessarily just going to go away as much as I want it to, you know? All right, guys, I'm probably going to call it a stream here today. Like I said, I just want to do a quick stream today in the morning. I'm going to save for most of my stuff for tonight's stream. Obviously, I'll be live from 7 to 10, so make sure you guys check that out tonight. Make sure you guys go check out the Patreon if you haven't already. If you guys want a bunch of longer-term analysis, I'm talking 45 minutes to an hour long of just straight long-term analysis. Go check out the Patreon down below. You guys can sign up on that. Links in the description. Also, go follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. You guys been killing it on Twitter over here. Well, we've been killing it on Twitter over here, back up to almost 2,400. So let's continue to kill it on there. Links in the description for that as well. And I will catch you guys in tonight's stream. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see what Bitcoin does on this breakout. Will Bitcoin break to the downside or upside? I think it's going to break to the downside here. It's got to break out by the stream tonight. All right? Catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good Tuesday. Stay easy. Stay good. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And don't panic. Sell yo crypto. Peace, guys.